have a lot of clients that are coming up to me and they don't really know how to buy. They're scared to buy, but they really want to own a home in Hawaii and they don't know what to do. So how do we help people out like that, Paris?
Well, Paris and Dylan here. We're going to talk about that in this episode coming up.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Aloha Cribs. We're going to clarify exactly what it takes to own a home. Well, not even what it takes, but just how you can. And you might be surprised, the majority of you guys out there probably can buy a home today if you really wanted to. So we're going to lay that all out right now for you guys. Yeah. So you actually want to understand what your budget is for. So we can actually kind of help you walk through your budget, but if you want to know what you actually qualified to buy, speaking with the lender is going to actually help you do that. And you'll be surprised the amount of confidence you get when you know what you need to do to buy a home or what you qualify for.
I was dealing with a client for a couple years now, but the first time I met him, he got pre-qualified and his loan amount was in the 200s at that time. So he got discouraged. At that time, there's not really anything you can buy at 200,000, but he came back to me about a month ago and said, hey, he's having a baby soon, congratulations. But he's having a baby soon, so he needs something bigger and he wants to own his own home now. We qualified him, now he's up to like 500,000.
Oh wow.
So now he's excited. Yeah, he's excited, he's ready to go. Sometimes it takes, years, months, just to get that process going. So it's depending on your circumstance, right? Your credits,
debt to income
ratios, right? It's a lot that comes into factor when you want to get pre-qualified.
Yeah, and I would say even if you're a little bit weary about going through a credit check process because you might already have a thought of what you could qualify for, I would just say just go through it just to learn about the process and experience, and you'd be surprised how much more insight you will get by doing that. And even just meeting with us and just having a sit down and a conversation to plan it out and just see where you're at can provide so much value to the process.
So first step, lender, get pre-qualified, pre-approved. Second step would be narrow down your areas, condo, single family. I guess like a Christmas list of what you want in a home. What's your timeline? What's your goals?
So sitting down with us and just having a quick conversation about, what you really need to have and what's maybe nice to have, but not a necessity. And understanding or working with a realtor that understands what you're looking for is gonna help make the process much smoother. And going to these places and looking at it in person and just getting a feel for these places to really see like, oh, is this really gonna be what we want? Are we gonna be happy living here? But also understanding that maybe you have to compromise on a couple of things to really get into.
But yeah, it's a give and take too, right? I mean,
yes. Okay, so we found the right home and it checks off 95% of what you want because nothing can be
100.
Maybe it's 100%, but now it's time to make an offer that stands out. What are some of the things that make that offer strong and appealing to a seller?
Well, of course, full ass or above ass is the strongest you can do. I would think down payments are, how much down are they putting? To me, down payments, if you're putting 50% down or if you're putting 5% down, at the end of the day, the seller's still getting the same amount of money.
Sure.
Right? It's not more, but it just shows that you're a stronger buyer because you have the money.
Yeah.
You're not gonna back out. You love this house, you want it, here's all my money into the down.
It can also reflect to the seller that you're not gonna have an issue with getting qualified or getting like a final approval on the home too. Like you're a very strong buyer with very strong financials. When it comes to making an offer, a buyer doesn't always need to make a strong offer depending on what type of market we're in, right?
Right, and today's market is a little slower for selling listings, but I think an offer that you put in, I think any offer will be entertained very highly
in today's
market. Yep.
So right now is a great time for you guys to buy. So any of you that are on the fence of buying, you guys should reach out right now because this is the time to buy a home.
You don't have to compete with anybody pretty much. I mean, that's what worst thing now is there's no competition. You want a house, put an offer in, and most likely you'll get it.
But right now, I know this is kind of weird to maybe wrap your head around, but it's more so the sellers are making the good offers to the buyers. And what that entails is they're offering like thousands of dollars in credits to buyers. And what can they use that money for?
Use it for closing costs. So if they give, like a seller gives $10,000 credit, they'll usually use that to cover the down payment, $10,000, $15,000, whatever the down is. And they'll have the extra money on their own to renovate, remodel, or just keep.
And they can also use that money to buy down their rate too, right?
You can, yes, you can.
Yeah. So we talked about finding a lender, getting pre-qualified, finding an agent to work with,
Which is us.
and looking for the right home that fits all your needs and making an offer that stands out on that home. And then the final step is opening escrow and going through the closing process.
Right.
So what does it mean when you open escrow? So when you open escrow, that means that you've made an offer on a home and the seller has accepted your offer. They've signed on the purchase contract and they're willing to move forward with your offer. So when you do that, you have to get a middleman involved, and that's escrow. Escrow is the company or people that facilitate that contract.
I explain like to people that don't know what escrow kind of is. It's like a third party. It's like a third party that you deal with sellers and buyers signing, with agents, brokerages involved. They do all the legal matters with the city, the state.
They're the ones that hold all the money, including from the lenders too. When you open escrow, you drop off the earnest money deposit, right, as a buyer, and that's like your commitment to the deal. The earnest money deposit shows the seller, this is how much commitment I'm willing to skin in the game. It's like your skin in the game.
And that shows it can be a stronger offer as well.
So it doesn't have to be an exorbitant amount, but it should be, a reasonable amount that shows your commitment to the deal. Then you go through all the contingencies of the contract. That's one of the reasons why it's good to have an agent in your field to help you go through those contingencies so that you're not in default on that contract.
Yes. Now you have inspections. So you have a home inspection, termite inspection.
You can do as many or as little inspections as you want, but as agents, we always recommend to at least get a general inspection done. The sellers are required to clean the home. They'll get it professionally cleaned, and they'll have to remove everything from the property before you take ownership of it.
And that's what would be the final walkthrough. Your final walkthrough phase you'd go in and check it out. Everything's out of the house, sellers are gone. You want to make sure that the house is in the same condition or better.
Here's a fun fact. If anything happens to the home while you're in escrow, whose responsibility is it?
Sellers.
The seller's responsibility.
Sellers are always responsible.
So up until the day that it's recorded and officially transferred into buyer's name, the sellers are responsible for anything that happens to the property. So after all the contingencies and inspections and everything has been done, on the day of recording, you get your keys and then you're now a homeowner. And see how easy that was? It's literally so easy.
We make it easy. Come see us. We make it easy for you.
As your agents, we represent you, and we'll do as much as we can to take that load off your shoulders, to guide you through the process. And honestly, it's just taking that first step and just reaching out to us.
I think it's exciting to see from start to end. I mean, you first start meeting clients to when they actually get their keys, how excited and happy they are. I mean, that's the priceless moments that we see when they open a door with their own key and it's their home and they can call themselves homeowners. That's priceless. $20 gift card to Starbucks.
Ooh, for all your coffee lovers out there, enter now.
That's all we have. Dylan Paris, Aloha Cribs Unfiltered.
We'll see you next time.